Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition to Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 8/14/2024. And here we are once again. Here we are once more. And if you're catching me on Rewind, I appreciate you visiting me, and happy New Comic Book Day to you. And if you're catching me on the live, well, how about we just take a moment and say hi? And speaking of which, hello, Christina. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you dancing with me. And Las Cruces, you got beat. I appreciate you being here, buddy. And look at the two saying hello to each other's. And how about we jump into this list, huh? Starting off with Dynamite. Going to give us Johnny Quest issue number 1. This is a story that now my older brother, and what did I not talked about really. He really wasn't in the cartoons, wasn't in the pop culture, no, nothing like that. So what I do remember is there was 2 cartoons that he watched. One in the early 70s was Johnny Quest. This was a really interesting adventure story that I found different than most because it really involved a lot of detective work, much like a Scooby-Doo, but with a how should I say, an augmented family that just found love with one another and found that the passion to help others drove them to, I guess, cruise around the world and do this style of detective work. It was a really different kind of show, and I really enjoyed it. So I guess that's why I'm looking forward to this particular title. Is I guess it's a form of nostalgia that I remember that I don't have a lot of memories with my older brother like this. So it's something that's just going to be interesting to see is a title coming to comic books for me to kind of relive my nostalgia through that way, I guess. But I also do believe that it's going to be very well written. I did see the art. I was privy to a couple of pages, and I enjoyed what little I did get to see. So I'm looking forward to Johnny Quest coming out, issue number 1, 8, 20, 8, 8, 14. 2024. All right, moving on from that, we're going to go ahead and talk about Image Comics because they're going to bring us a couple titles that I've been looking forward to for a little bit. Which first, we're going to start off with Geiger issue number 5. This has been a really solid series, and so far I've been enjoying it, much like I did the first volume. This does expand on the character quite a deal, and it does show how this story is going to go ahead and start including some of the stuff that we had seen in the original tale, but it really gives a lot more background history, and it gives us a lot more, I guess, you know, a depth in which that I guess was somewhat skimmed over in the first volume. That I truly believe that is going to offer us an exposition that will then piece together all these other titles, because that's where we're getting is a little bits. It's explaining how this other stuff's happening, and we do see timelines at the end of all these books that supposedly pieces this stuff together. But we've yet to see it. Moving on from that, let's go ahead and talk about Transformers issue number 11. Transformers tends to be one of my favorite titles of the series in this Energon universe, for obvious reasons. But at the same point, it does touch on what I think many of us really been wanting to see, which is some of this, I guess, overall fighting sequences and scenes and some of the bigger names that we've grown up seeing in the Transformer universe start to reveal themselves in these further comics that have been coming out. So much like the further back you go, you see a couple of the main characters. We're also seeing some that have all shown themselves in 9 and 10 especially, but now in 11 even more so. Not only that, but we also get a secret variant that's going through the damn roof. If you're privy enough to go ahead and either one, be able to afford it, and or two, shop get it, because mine didn't, then I wish you all luck, and hopefully you'll get it at a good price. So Transformers 11 is one of those books I'm definitely looking for, especially that secret variant. Moving out from Image Universe, let's go ahead and talk about DC. DC Primer Clashing Colors, issue number 2. This is an all-age story that I've really been enjoying, and this is the second volume that pieces together now that she's gotten her suit, now that she's learned how to kind of play with her powers, she is now looking into becoming a little Teen Titan. I think a little prematurely, but I think what we're also seeing is how she's trying to integrate herself into the DC universe a little bit of more depth, and also with a group of individuals that I feel will accept her into their group. This is seeing happens in this issue. I think that's where we're getting to. That's what we were touching on in issue number 1, and I'm really digging where this story is going. So again, Primer, Clashing Colors, issue number 2, coming out 8/14/2024. Now let's move out from DC and cruise over to IDW. They're going to give us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher issue number 1. There we get an identity to be revealed. If it's a true reveal, the true identity, I'm uncertain, but we do get some hint of what we're going to go ahead and see as far as the reveal of the individual that is the Night Watcher. If you are reading the older version of the TMNT 150 and back, and or you are understanding of what's going on in that storyline that now bridges into the new story, along with this character and how they minorly touched, you understand on how somewhat this is kind of working out. Now, if you don't, I understand that too, but it is a neat little character that is in part of the addition to, well, the Eastman Laird universe. And I really have been digging the TMNT stuff, and I'm looking forward to what Jason Aaron's going to do. That is just something more, I believe, that's going to be included into that universe down the road. But moving out from IDW, and again, there's an identity to be revealed in there. From that TMNT, Night Watcher issue number 1, let's cruise over to Marvel and finish it out there. What we're going to get in Marvel is we're going to go ahead and talk about Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1. How you do, bro? I hope all is well. And what we're going to talk about there is issue number 55 from Amazing Spider-Man. That's going to go ahead and give us on the journey to, well, Wells' finish. Wells is going to go ahead and finish, I believe, by issue number 60. And this has been a long journey for him. If I recall, he was trying to do a 5-year story with Amazing Spider-Man, and I do believe that he got to accomplish a solid 3 years. So this was finishing out an arc and what said he wanted to do anyways. I think it's getting cut off a little prematurely for him, but at the same point, his successor and the baton that he's going to go ahead and hand this off to is more than capable of taking over the story. And I'm looking out for how that's going to go ahead and from here, 55, lead into there. And I'm curious to see what the preparations and or the successive reign of the ASM is going to turn out in issue number 61, which will be a key. But again, moving out from Amazing Spider-Man issue number 55, let's go ahead and talk about Wolverine issue number 4. The reason why is this story has really matured really well, and I've been digging how the fact that they've been able to go ahead and bring this dead character back to life. If you're not quite certain who I'm talking about, that's why I'm being vague. And I really like how it's now interacting with the other characters of the, I can say this, of the Ghost Rider universe / Wolverine universe, and the combination of the both. It does make sense. And I really enjoying how the manipulation of this character is working out to make a story basically leap into what we're going to see in a couple of months with the Ghost Rider story that's going to be coming out then. Really digging how this Wolverine story is transpiring. I really thought it was a cash grab when they were doing that Wolverine 36 and how all that was working out, but it does make sense. So again, moving out from the Wolverine issue number 4 that's coming out on New Comic Book Day, that would be 8/14/2024. Let's talk about Immortal Thor issue number 14. The cool thing is I'm getting a Thor that I appreciate and remember just, I don't know, 5, 6, 8, 12 years ago. This is the kind of, I guess, delivery that I've come to expect when I do read a Thor book. So I really have been enjoying this journey, this storytelling, this, I don't know, this delivery of what we're receiving as far as from the writer and the artist, because it does work very well together. The conjunction, it's just seamless on what they're able to do. I know, again, is another one that I'm being vague, but see, again, I found out, and even though Thor is one of those number 1 characters, it's a niche character. It's one of those that most people don't really read, and those that do are really heavy into. So if you already know what's going on in this story, and you do appreciate what's going on in this story, I'm definitely talking to you, because no, I'm not a hardcore Thor fan, but at the same point, this one really hook, line, and sinkered me in. And it's hard for me to go ahead and drop stories when they're written this well. So that's why, again, Immortal Thor, issue number 14, coming out tomorrow, is one of those books I'm really looking forward to read. Moving out from that, let's go ahead and talk about Ultimates, issue number 3. This Ultimate Universe is really developing well. And I know every time this happens, which we've gotten, 4 or 5 volumes of this Ultimate stuff in the past, just 20 years, it tends to be the shit of the time. I mean, it's just awesome of the time. It tends not to really weather well down the road. However, again, this exception seems to be doing rather well. It seems that all the contributors to these stories are doing awesome work. I haven't really heard too many bad stories, if any bad story at all, on how this universe is being put together. And I'm really rather enjoying it. So again, Ultimates issue number 3 supposedly sets up a big key in Ultimates issue number 4, where supposedly that actually tells why Robert Downey Jr. was casted for the part in which that he was, even if it's possible if he wasn't. It's supposedly a lot of that is going to be told, believe it or not, in issue number 4 of the Ultimates. This starts it off. I'm looking forward to this story. So far, this Ultimates has been really well as far as all the Ultimates are concerned. Spider-Man's definitely up there. Black Panther's definitely up there. And this is extremely up there. But moving out from the Ultimates issue number 3, let's talk about Ultraman and Avengers issue number 1. This is the first time these two got to meet, and it's about damn time. I am a huge Ultraman fan, and I always have been. I don't know how this is going to work out. At the same point, I don't know why I wasn't done sooner. I really, like I'm saying, I'm looking forward to this just to see how it's written. And I hope they don't insult either side. I really think that this can really work. And knowing Kyle, how he writes anyways, I believe Higgins is going to knock this out of the park. I'm just dying to get my hands on this thing. And you're probably thinking, wait, you've been getting your hands on everything else. Yeah, well, that's tomorrow. I'm definitely going to get it tomorrow. 8/14/2024. I can't grab everything all at the same time. I can only hold so much. But moving out from Ultraman and Avengers, issue number 1, let's talk about Venom, issue number 36, where we get Old Man Dylan. And yeah, what we're going to see here is, yes, first appearance and all that stuff, but it's going to give us an explanation on, again, what we're going to end up seeing in this Venom War. This Venom War is really kind of starting here, and this is really kind of a prelude of what we're going to see in all this stuff. So I'm really dying to see this. And as they tease us in issue number 35 of Venom, we knew that this was going to happen. We knew we were going to get this leading into this war. And I'm dying to rip through this book. Seriously, Venom has been solid, and I've been enjoying it thoroughly, and I can't get enough. Moving out from Venom issue number 36, let's talk about Wolverine annual issue number 1, which is actually part 5 of the Infinity Watch. And this story has been different. I mean, it's not bad. It's good. Ish. I think I know where they're going to, and I hope they just hit the landing. I'm along for the journey all the way through, so just don't hurt me is all I ask. I've really been enjoying this and that so far, and I really been looking forward to the next issue. That's why it's on my list. I'm just have concerns when I see these Infinity stories, because they tend to start off really well. They just tend to start off really well. I'm just saying. But I am looking forward to this, and I do see where, like I said, where it's leading, and I have read some of the tidbits that go all the way up to the last issue, and it seems cool. I'm liking more of the direction is and how it's teasing all the way up to that. So let's see how they hit this landing when it gets there. I'm going to enjoy issue number 5 because we're halfway there anyways. Not think about too much of the future and just ruin it. So again, Wolverine annual issue number 1 coming out to you 8/14/2024. Let's cruise out from that and talk about, well, Venom War-ish. Venom War Spider-Man issue number 1. This is kind of a story of, it's the symbiote's kind of revisiting Peter, and it's for the betterment, better good of all. both for Brock and for everyone else in the world. It's not an extremely pinnacle story inside its necessity into the whole Venom War thing. I'm all in on this Venom War thing. I'm gonna buy it all. So I mean, at the same point, if it's good, bad, or indifferent, I'm gonna get it. I'm just saying. I am looking forward to this story. I'm a symbiote slut. I'm a sucker. So I do look forward to this being pretty decent and part of the Venom War tie-in in some regard, at least if not majorly in the first issue. Come on, give us some few pages. But at least a builder into what we were supposed to get and by issue 3. I'm just saying. So like I said, I'm in all. I'm all in. Yeah. Venom War, Spider-Man issue number 1 coming out tomorrow. Moving on from that, let's go ahead and talk about Spider Society. Issue number 1. Kind of a multiverse thingy still going on. I like the multiverse stuff, films, the books. I don't know. We got some pretty cool characters so far. There's characters in here that I really dig. That one being one of them. I am a huge fan of Weapon. I believe it's 8. And as far as a few other characters are on here, they're pretty cool. I really dig it. I'm a huge Spider-Woman fan, both versions. The way this is going and the way a lot of these characters are, and definitely Peter Porker fan, I can't get enough this type of stuff. But that's me. I really like the diversity of the spiders and individuals that can go ahead and tell a decent story. So it almost doesn't matter, which in my case it kind of does. The character itself is rather how well is the character written by the writer. If you got a great writer, well, you can almost write anything as long as their heart's into it. I'm just saying. So I'm looking forward to jumping into this. Can't wait. And that's coming out again, 8/14/2024. But really what we're here to talk about, yeah, you know what's coming. This is a Blue Light Special. And this week's Blue Light Special is Spider-Boy, issue number 10. What we're going to get in Spider-Boy issue number 10, 11, and 12 are not only a bunch of first appearances, but appearances that I believe are going to be beyond Spider-Boy. Definitely by issue number 12, we're going to see a character that hopefully will bleed over to other Marvel stories, much like Spider-Boy has already have. He already got his own annual. He's already tied into other storylines. We've seen him help out, finish out the story that Dan Slott was doing with Superior Spider-Man, where it ended in issue 8, and supposedly there's going to be no more contributions to that storyline ever. That was all in part with Spider-Boy. Also in the sense that that story was essentially told to a death, and it was told to a point that there's no more contribution necessarily to be made. Again, part of that is because of the birth of Spider-Boy and how far that character has gotten into the Marvel Universe. What we're going to end up seeing, not only in 10, like I said, in 11 and 12, is we're going to see how integral this character is and how well he's working out into this universe. I've really been enjoying what we've been getting so far, and I look forward to not only the story, as it to be my Blue Light Special, but the characters that are contributing into the storyline that make this character, well, that much fun to read. See, as good as a character is, hero, you can only be so good until your villains are is equal, right? I mean, Batman really wouldn't be Batman without its Joker, or Superman really wouldn't be Superman without its Luthor. And you know where I'm going with all this other stuff. So the beauty is we're getting all these cool characters and these different villains, and we're just seeing what's going to go ahead and land. And so far, to me, everything has been somewhat of a hit. Home run doesn't have to be. Why? Well, I've been enjoying this interesting story of this character that has been around well over a year now and is not going anytime soon anywhere, except for, well, into the pages of the following month's book. I've really been digging Spider-Boy. It's been really one of the most, I don't know, decent and fun characters for me to read in the Marvel Universe since I really got to, I guess one of them up there would be with Miles, so I really like this character and it really resonates with me. A boy that has to deal with basically all the same things that all these other characters had to deal, but within a child. And that hurts. and that hits. And that's why I think I really been dealing with the fact that it's a character that I enjoy more than most, is the fact that I understand what it's like for a lot of people to deal with a lot of shit, and for it to be, and a person that just wants to do good and has that ability and is also alone and has no family directly that he can rely on. It's just interesting how well the character is told in the Marvel universe, where everyone already has everything. A billionaire here, a millionaire there, place to go there, a bunch of loving friends, family, and so forth. It's quite the opposite in this character, and it's quite interesting how it's told. So that's why, again, this has been a Blue Light special for many months. Spider Boy issue number 10 coming out tomorrow on 8/14/2024 is not only something that I really been enjoying, but it's something I advocate many to read. It's definitely in all ages. It's definitely an adult. It's definitely something that I believe everyone could enjoy if you enjoy the Marvel Universe. And that's it for me. I appreciate everyone being here. Dude, it's great to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've been digging that Goblin stuff. And Journey, appreciate you being here. Jag, dude, you're most awesome. Christina, as always, I appreciate you spreading the word, and you stay well. And to anyone that I miss, Las Cruces, you're the best. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you being well. I appreciate you having a nice comic book day, and I just appreciate you. And that's it for me. Entropy. Stay well.